Well, Pastor Keith, this video is just for you. We were talking the other day about how to fill the matrix. Let's go back over those fundamentals that we talked about before. We're talking about making a commitment. Everyone's going to make a commitment. That's you, and you bring two. That's the whole foundation of this entire program. You bringing two people. But ultimately, when this person brings their two people, they've done exactly the same thing. You bring two, they bring two. And that pattern just continues. The whole idea here is all we're going to do is fill the matrix. Everybody bringing two people. That's all that's actually taking place here. Now remember, when you bring your two people, you paid $50 to get in. But when you bring your two, pays you $25 each. So now you make $50. So you've made your money back. That's powerful. I've never seen a program that actually, or I'll say a computer, that actually gets that money back to you that quickly. The same thing happens for everybody. The objective, though, ultimately, is to fill the matrix. Now remember, we need two people that trust you and two people that are trustworthy. Why? Because people need to trust in this. This is all about understanding there's a very simple way of moving money into all of our hands as a group, as we do it together. It's so simple that it can be complicated by people who overthink it. Spiritual people, I'm talking about some 5-talent people. Those are people who are faithful, not fearful. 5-talent and 2-talent. We want this, technically, this, you could take forever to do this, but if this moves and we populate this computer matrix quickly, the money will move quickly. So here's what I was sharing with you the other day. That's kind of the refresher right there. You bring two people, you make your $50 back, and everybody does the same thing, and the money begins to just crank up. But let's say this is you, and that's your two people, and we want to talk about what happens if a person knows, because what we talked about the other day, what if you already had a group of people, someone who knew 7 people, some people that you work with, some people in church groups, but they had more than 2 people. There's a lot of recommendations I want to make where that's concerned. None of them are law, but just some thought processes that come into play. For instance, you could use, if that was you could do a pay it forward program where you paid 50 and 50 for your 2 people. If you believed in it, you paid their money, you still make the same $50. Now, in that case, you've given up $50 because you paid 100 to make 50, but now you're moving it faster because people believe in something that you paid for them to get in. I don't want to muddy the water with that, but that's just one concept. There's so many different ways that we can do this, but the main thing we want to understand is we want to fill the matrix. Or in other words, we want to fill every slot. How can we do that? Well, if that was you, you knew 7 people, that was you, and you knew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Here's one thing that could be done. What if this guy here already had the same thing you did? He already had 6 people that knew him, that trusted him. Here's the key. You can also, this is one of the features, you don't have to sign all of these people up to yourself. This is where the resources that we have, the people are the resource, money's the resource. Sometimes you can pay it forward for someone. In another instance, you could pay it forward by giving them the people, okay? Everyone, they just understand the whole idea is to fill this matrix. But what if that was you and you had this person here who already had that same number of people. He had 2 and they had 2. So he already had that set up. And then you had this guy who had exactly the same setup. And this person who had exactly the same setup. All of them had their people already. How much faster could we move that? And then each of them, don't let this become big, because if this becomes too big to you in your thinking or anyone's thinking, then it can become overwhelming. It's simple. It's you and 2. Now in this case, we've got number 3, 4, 5, and 6, but they've all brought that same. They've done the same thing. They brought 2, and then they had their next level. What if these people actually had the same thing that these guys did? They had a total of themselves and 6 more people. They could do exactly the same thing. This is a total of them and 6. Okay, I know these are small numbers, or small writing, but I think you get it. So you're doing this, you're bringing in groups of people as opposed to just individuals. Okay? The most important thing is people understanding this is simple. We're going to fill the matrix and everyone gets paid. We're using $50 per person to trigger a flow of income and increase. This is what the company's offering. As we've discussed, there's no product to buy. This is all about a membership, which helps us see what the computer would do in every network marketing company. These computers are designed to do the same thing. As you know, this is a revelation. This is an insight. It's always been there. It has to be used skillfully. I recommend people thinking about how many people do you need, because this isn't the kind of program where you're signing up a lot of people to yourself really gives you that much value. The key is how many people can we help people bring? How far down can we go filling every slot? Now, if we fill every slot by groups of 7 or fill every slot by everybody bringing 2, it's still the same thing. This is the formation, and we want to place people in all of these spots so that the money flows to the next person. And then we help everyone, because the model has always been bring 2 and do what? Help those 2. Everyone has to help. This isn't a system that's designed for one person to make all the money. If we do this the way it's supposed to be done, everybody's going to make the same thing. If a person brings 7 people, they don't have to actually, or 6 people, they don't have to assign those people to themselves. They can give the people to each other and everybody still work, because the whole objective is to keep filling it up further down. Oh, one other thing. This is also the kind of program where knowing how this works, knowing what the computer is designed to do, one thing we have the ability to do is what we call setting it up in advance, or strategic placement and systematic entry. Since we know what the computer will do, what happens if we just get the names of the people we love and trust, and everybody work together to just lay it out on paper first? We know what the computer is going to do. So then on a particular week, you pay your money, you go in. The next week, these 2 go in. The next week, these 4 go in. The next week, these go in. The next week, these go in. And what you do is create a weekly flow of income for everybody that ends up becoming a monthly constant income. And there's no fear in this. If you lay it out in advance, you just put names. You put Tom here and Joe here and whatever, whoever's names, and then they know that they're going to pay their money on such and such a week, and they know that they're going to pay their money the following week. The idea here is to move this at about a 1-week pace. If we do it in a 1-week pace, believe it or not, the way the math works in this design, with only a $50 purchase and a $10 a month payment for that membership, what their computer design says is you'll be making that much money per month on what happens if everyone brings their 2 people in a week. The objective is to fill the matrix. I know I've thrown a few different scenarios at you, but if you go back over the video, you can hear it. We're talking about either pay it forward, we're talking about doing it in groups of 7 or pockets of whatever. The number isn't relevant. It can be pockets of 30 people, but filling every hole. The idea is filling every hole and making sure that we get every level completed in the course of 1 week. And if we can, in other words, if everyone brought 2 people in a week, going back to simple, if everybody does this, they bring 2 people in a week. Everybody bring 2 people in a week. The way this design is in 12 weeks, everybody just do that. The computer and what the company has said and what the numbers pan out is you'll be making $4,000 per month at that point, having only spent $50 and 2 people. That's a game changer. That's a winning combination. If everyone understands it, you can prove it. You know, when you bring 2 people, you'll see the $50 show up in your back office. So we know that it works at this level. So the confidence is it'll work all the way down. All right. Thank you, my brother. I'll get more videos to you as these insights come. And I just wanted to help you get that in your thinking. Love you. Bye-bye.